Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is why it's important for your well-being to let go of your concerns by entrusting them to God. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from our sponsors. Let Go for Your Well-Being. Written and read by Whitney Hopler. Cast your cares on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Psalm 55:22 NIV. When I walk around my neighborhood in the fall, I love to see colorful leaves falling from the trees to the ground. They let go gracefully and fly free through the air until they gently land. It reminds me that it's important to let go of the concerns I carry myself. If all the cares I carry in my heart and mind were each an individual leaf, there would certainly be enough to fill a large tree. They would catch my attention by looking beautiful, but then it would be time for me to let them go by praying about them and trusting God to handle them. Holding on to my concerns would only lead them to decay, and it would also hold the tree back from thriving. Letting them go, however, would set God's plans in motion, so well-being and growth could happen. Fall leaves remind me that the only way to prepare well for the next season is to let go and trust God. The Bible encourages us to cast our cares on God, assuring us that He will sustain us. God will faithfully support us in all situations, working out what's best for every single one of our concerns. But first, we have to trust God to do so. Just as a tree releases its leaves to make way for new growth, we too must release our worries to God to keep growing spiritually. Letting go can be difficult. Our human nature often clings to control, trying to manage every detail of our lives. We worry about the future, our loved ones, our health, and so many other concerns. These cares can become heavy, like a tree full of leaves, if we refuse to release them. They can weigh us down, preventing us from experiencing the peace and joy that God wants us to experience. However, when we choose to let go and place our trust in God, we make room for God's sustaining power to work in our lives. God promises that He will never let the righteous be shaken. This doesn't mean we won't face challenges, but it does mean that we have a firm foundation in God that cannot be moved. He will carry us gracefully through every kind of circumstances, even the most difficult times we face. So imagine what it would look like to truly let go of your cares. Picture yourself standing beneath a tree in the fall, with your hands full of colorful leaves that represent your worries. Then, one by one, you release them into the air and watch as the wind carries them away. As you let go, you begin to feel lighter, more at peace, and more in tune with God's presence. God's invitation to cast your cares on Him is not just a suggestion. It's a promise that God will care for them faithfully and work out the very best in each situation. By letting go, you aren't abandoning your responsibilities or ignoring your problems. Instead, you're acknowledging that God is greater than any challenge you face. You're trusting God to sustain you, to guide you, and to bring about the best outcome according to His perfect will. Whenever you feel burdened by the concerns in your heart and mind, remember the lesson of the falling leaves. Let go of your concerns and place them in God's hands. Trust that God will sustain you, and rest assured that God will be working for the best in every single one of the situations that concerns you. Then enjoy the freedom that brings you. When you're no longer weighed down by worry, you can experience the well-being and growth God wants for you in every season. Intersecting faith and life. As you consider why it's important for your well-being to let God handle your concerns, reflect on these questions. What cares are you holding on to that you need to release to God? What steps can you take to practice letting go and trusting God more fully in your daily life? How have you experienced God's sustaining power in your life when you've chosen to trust Him? In what ways can you remind yourself of God's promises when you're tempted to hold on to your concerns? Further reading. 1 Peter 5:7, Matthew 11:28 through 30, Proverbs 3:5-6, Psalm 62:8, Isaiah 41:10.
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.